Hi, my name is Nathan, and today we're going to do a comic book review of Dark Ages, issue number 1, brought to you by RatedComics. Let's get to it. We begin this issue in New Jersey. It was a Friday. Peter Parker, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Mary Jane, and their daughter, little May, call back to Aunt May, are having pizza, just having a good old time, catching up just on a regular Friday. Little May gets on the ceiling, sticks to the ceiling, and Mary Jane's like, get our daughter off the ceiling. I mean, she has spider powers like Peter Parker, so naturally he's not concerned about it, but Peter Parker is told otherwise by Jessica Jones. I investigated a lot of deaths, and she could put her hand in a light socket, and the worst can happen. So, being a dad, he goes up, gets her down. Then all of a sudden, Peter Parker's spider sense go crazy. Miles Morales' spider sense goes crazy. Gwen Stacy's spider sense go crazy. Now that's a funny moment, like where the bad guy's like, "Yo, we still doing this or what?" But it's just like a violent reaction of spider senses to Peter Parker and Little May. And it's described that the spider sense was so strong, like stronger than before when Galactus was approaching the Earth. This was much worse. It was like the devourer of the worlds was coming to eat the planet, and he already took a bite. It was that violent of the spider sense. In an underground laboratory, Moon Girl, her mind is racing, looking for the pattern. She finds the pattern, gets on her dinosaur, and races to the world's smartest person, or the second world's smartest person on the planet, which is Mr. Fantastic to the Baxter Building. Not only does the spider sense feel it, Jean Grey feels it, and she telepathically asks Professor X if he felt it, and he's like, it's unlike anything I've ever felt before. Meanwhile, we get Apocalypse, a cyberpath who's just communicating with this unknown problem, and he felt something old and powerful, ancient, and guess what? He craved more, and it was almost like he's foreplaying with this thing, whatever's going on here. So now we know Peter Parker's spider sense is going crazy, and he has to do the hero thing. He tells MJ, I want to get you guys to safety, but I need to know where this is coming from, so I got to see Mr. Fantastic in the Baxter Building. So he gets on his costume and slings away. Now when Moon Girl gets to the Baxter Building, it's kind of an awkward thing for Clobber Time, the Thing, telling Mr. Reed, hey, there's a dinosaur in our lobby here. Moon Girl and Val, their daughter, goes to Mr. Reed and tells him, look, the tremors are not consistent with the tectonic plate shifts, and the quakes are too short. They look like impact tremors, but it can't be on the surface because we will obviously know where it's coming from. This is coming from deep within. We're being attacked from inside the earth. And then Val's like, Dad, I think the world is coming to an end. And then the Watcher emerges, and he's like, yes, the world is ending, and you guys only have hours, and I have very bad news for you. This is what I've been watching for all this time. And he goes into the backstory of what this is about. 10 billion years ago, a living machine was created. It was made to protect the universe and to stop all the bad stuff in its tracks and consume black holes. But over a millennia, feeding on so much darkness, it changed the being and it corrupted it at its core. The Unmaker, that's what the name of this deal is, and began to unmake everything. This living machine began to unmade world and entire galaxies. And the only solution was the living tribunal came in, contained the machine, couldn't destroy the machine because the power was too great and it would cause more catastrophic damage to destroy it. But the best course of action was to imprison this Unmaker into this newly forming world called Earth. It's like, damn, I didn't ask for none of this. Put this on Mars or put this on the sun or something, But for the sake of storytelling, I so far dig it. Now the Watcher tells him that this machine is waking up, and if it wakes to its full power potential, the entire planet and galaxy can be unmade and worlds beyond, and you guys are pretty much screwed. So now they're trying to come with an idea of how to fight. The greatest thinkers on the planet put their heads together, and they all decided the best course of action was to go at it directly. So they assembled the strike team. Vision, a living machine to fight the living machine. Scarlet Witch, a shaper of reality to fight against a being who could unmake it. Doctor Strange, a sorcerer to fight the pinnacle of technology. Invisible Woman to protect them from the heat of the Earth's core. And guess what? Ben, the Thing, in case anything that could be solved with some really hard hitting. To me, this seems like a pretty solid team, and this is great storytelling and great writing. So Doctor Strange opens up a portal, and they immediately go to the center of the core. They get, not so much greeted by the Unmaker, but the Unmaker's just looking at them like, okay, I'm on phase. And even Ben's like, dude, that's gonna take some clobbering, some serious clobbering. The Machine pays no attention to them at all. He's just busy trying to punch his way out of the Earth's core, and Unmaker boulders are coming down. The force field from Invisible Girl has to protect him, and she's holding strong. But these punches, these impacts are so violent and strong that they're felt in all parts of the Earth. In Wakanda, it's even felt, but they're like slight rumbles or whatnot, but very noticeable since Wakanda is built on the bedrock of vibranium. In Nepal, in Canada, this destruction is just intense and insane. In Atlantis, this is being swallowed by the earth. These punches are causing devastation, massive devastation. We get into Los Angeles, we see the champions and the X-Men and the Avengers getting people to safety and trying the best they can to minimize any casualties. But you know what? The damage is already done, but they're gonna do what they can possibly do. So at the center of the earth, Ben decides it's clobber time. He lunges full strength, full intensity at the Unmaker, but you know what? It's not gonna happen. Unmaker turns around and just vaporizes him into green baby powder dust, and Invisible Girl is like, oh my gosh, dude. Scarlet Witch attempts to reshape reality, but despite still working to her full powers, the Unmaker simply just unmade everything she tried to do. And then the Unmaker unmade WandaVision, loses his stuff, at which, okay, the love of his life, he enters the Unmaker's head, machine on machine battle. Now with the ground being unmade around them, and Vision inside the Unmaker's head is buying them a little bit of time. In desperation, Doctor Strange reaches out to other realities for anything he can use against the Unmaker, and he found a weapon. So his weapon is he's gonna open a portal to a dimension where no electricity can function. An electromagnetic pulse beat at the heart of the realm. This would therefore shut down the Unmaker because the Unmaker is all electrical, right? So this electrical being, Unmaker, realized what was happening and said, not gonna happen, bruh. He lashes out a spear, goes to the force field, and impales Doctor Strange. It's just, oh, dude, I love how when stories talk about, in order to defeat something great, a lot of great sacrifices have to be done, and this is like, dude, one of them. But Doctor Strange's last breath, he tells Sue to live, and he opens up a portal to send Sue Storm away. But with the death of Doctor Strange, the portal stayed open, it grew, and it encompassed the entire planet, sending the Earth into total, complete, literal darkness, where Nick Fury is like, what the is that? Everything stopped. Iron Man's suit stops. Ant-Man can't shrink down because his electrical switches ain't working. Machine sustaining life. Sorry, my man. Wisdom. I'm so sorry, brother. And artificial life all just collapsed in darkness. Peter Parker's over here shooting his web shooters, but I thought his web shooters were like mechanical mechanisms, not electrical. But because the darkness and the EMP portal encompassing the Earth, his web shooters fell him. He falls to the ground, but that's the least of his worries. He wants to get to his wife and his daughter. I imagine MJ is his wife at this point. But what he finds out is something that really opens up his heart. Little Aunt May, I keep calling little MJ. Little Aunt May lifts up the piece of debris, and it just brings tears of joy to Peter Parker's heart. We are shown that that was 7 years ago. The world we knew ended. They built another world, a world to be proud of. But years later, the lights went out, and that's how after the world ended. Here's my thoughts of the book. There's 3 reasons why you need to buy this book. Reason number 1, this is a heck of a good story. Reason number 2, this is a heck of a good story. And reason number 3, I am not a comic book expert, but this is the first appearance of the Unmaker. And from what I understand with comic books, if you buy comic books for appreciation or just to buy and hold, if the Unmaker gets made into a character in What If episode or future Marvel movie or anything like this, comic book is only going to increase in value. And those are my 3 reasons why you should purchase a book. Now, preferably, I wish you purchase this book from Rated Comics. Link in description, by the way. Great story to tell. I am so interested to see how this turns out. Then again, I probably don't watch a lot of apocalyptic, but you put the heroes in a position where the smaller heroes can shine through, and how they're going to shine through, this is a popcorn comic book and coffee waiting to happen. With that being said, Dark Ages, issue number 1. What you guys think of the comic book? Comment below and let me know. If you like the content we're throwing up, you know what to do. Don't be shy and don't be stingy. Show Rated Comics some love. Here at Rated Comics, we do awesome comic book reviews, comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaways. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.